Welcome to Learn with Neeti. I am Niteshvi Vardhini, aka Neeti, and I am a student just like you. I've always loved PCMB, and I realized that the best way for me to really get these topics is to explain them out loud. On this channel we are going to tackle ninth grade science and maths together. No boring lectures, just high level concept broken in a very simple way. So, hello everyone, and I'll request you all to don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. So, there is a very short disclaimer that I'm not a teacher. I'm a ninth grader, as I told you before, and I have taken the reference of this video of this bridge course session from Samriti Man's video, and this is just another way of learning, from following my hobbies and learning. So today we are gonna study cell. This is not that cell which you are thinking of. Some people think of the cell which are used in our remotes. So this cell is a living cell. Cells which our body is made up of. So cell is a fundamental unit of life, which is structural and functional unit of life. So cell is like cell is building blocks of any living being's body. Like we stack bricks together to make any building. That's how cells are stacked together to make a living organism. Now the question arises: who was the first scientist to see the cell? Who discovered cell? Who coined the term cell? Which cell did they saw? Is that a dead or living cell? Many questions arises. So Robert Hooke in 1665 was the very first scientist to see a cell. It was a dead cell. He made his own microscope, and he was having a cork of oak tree's bark. What is this? So, cork of oak tree's bark means ओक के पेड़ की छाल जो होती है वो थी उनके पास, and he saw it under the microscope. He saw some compartments, right? What does he saw was some compartments, right? And he named them cell. Like these, some compartments was there, and he named it cell. Now the very important question. This was a dead cell. Who for the very first living cell? So the first living cell was seen by Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Antony von Leeuwenhoek. And he saw the very first, he saw the cells of protozoa, bacteria, spermatozoa, RBCs, and spirogyra. Now the question is, how many types of organisms are there on the basis of cells? So, the organisms on the basis of cell are categorized into two types. Very first one is a multicellular organism, which means an organism made up of more than one cell. And unicellular means organisms made out of just one cell. Like, if you see here, organisms made up of only one cell is unicellular organisms, like amoeba, penicillium, and bacteria, any fungi, etc. Whereas multicellular organisms are made up of more than one cell, like animal, any plant, right, etc. There are more examples. Now, like, there are very there are different shapes of cells. Like some of them are here. Like if you see cells, which are like these, like pointed at the ends and broader from the middle, are known as spindle shaped cells. One of his example is smooth muscle cell. If you will see this, so this is pointed from both the ends and it's broader from the middle, so that's why this is spindle shaped cell. Then there is a spherical shaped cell. What is a sphere? Sphere is like, if you have ever seen a football. So football, orange, these kind of things are sphere. There is a spherical shaped cell, which whose example is ovum or fat cell, right? So it's just as a gola, and these round cell is spherical, which are slightly flat from both the poles, like this north pole and the south pole. These are slightly flat. Then, and its example is fat cell and ovum cell. Ovum is the female gamete, like with which an and elongated sperm meets. So sperm is elongated, it's long, right? And nerve cells. So nerve cell is basically elongated. It's like sperm, but it's branched. There are some branches coming out of it. So this is a sperm. But when these kind of branches come out of it, it became a neuron. I hope this is clear. So we can move forward. Now, there are different sizes of cells too. Like the smallest cell in the world is mycoplasm or pleuropneumonia like organisms, ppl. Mycoplasm is also known as ppl, pleuropneumonia like organism. Then the smallest cell in humans in human body is sperm, whereas the largest cell in human body is ovum, and the largest cell in world is ostrich's egg. There is no other cell bigger than an ostrich's egg and no other cell smaller than ppl. Then there is the longest cell in our human body is a neuron. If you see, so this is a neuron, elongated, branched. These are branches coming out of it. This is elongated, like, right? This is long. So this is our what? Neuron. Now, cell components. If you will see, so there is a cell, right? There is a cell, and that cell is made up of various components. What are they? So, very first component is a cell wall. Cell wall is a rigid outer covering lying outside the plasma membrane. What is a plasma membrane? So, plasma membrane is the outermost covering of a like cell, which is semi-permeable. Semi-permeable means it allows some substances to get out of the cell and some to get in the cell. So when and when like uh, a membrane is selectively permeable, it means it will allow some substances to go out and come in. Whereas if it's like fully permeable, it will allow the like all the substances to go out and come in the cell. But there are some membranes which are not permeable, which means that they will not allow anything to get in or out. And cell membrane, plasma membrane is also known as cell membrane. So cell wall is lying outside the plasma membrane and it's not present in every cell. If you will see, so plasma membrane is present in every cell in like Monera kingdom, animal kingdom, fungi, algae, or any other kingdom. If you will take, in every kingdom, this membrane is present. But cell wall is present only in plants, bacteria, and fungi. Right? So now we can move to another component. So the another component is nucleus. Nucleus is a double membrane bound like organelle which have two layers. Very first layer is the of porous like nuclear pores, and the inner is nuclear envelope, which we will discuss later. Like the pores, like the very upper layer of nuclear pores help the substance, the material to move, like get out of nucleus, get in into the nucleus. And it has chromosomes. So what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are basically DNAs. If you have watched any scientific documentary or heard from anywhere, DNA is a very common term, which full form is deoxyribose nucleic acid. Then comes cell organelles. These are special membrane bound parts of cell which are present in cytoplasm. So special membrane bound, they have a membrane and they are present in cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a like gel kind of substance present in cell. So if you will see, so this is an animal cell which has plasma membrane and this is a nucleus. This very upper layer have nuclear pores. Inside it, it has a nuclear envelope, and this is a nucleoid. These are endoplasmic reticulum. We are gonna study all about these in diversity and living organisms chapter. And there are Golgi bodies, centrosomes, lysosomes, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, and this white substance filled inside the cell is cytoplasm. It is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. Now, let's go to the next. So, next is organisms with cell wall. Like cell wall is a rigid outer covering. In some organism, it's not flexible. It provides cell to the shape. But are the organisms, and what is that substance which is which with the help of which the cell wall is made? So in plants there is cell wall present, and it is made up of cellulose, right? In plants, there is cell wall present and it's made up of cellulose. Then there is bacteria. Bacteria, like if I'll tell you, so bacteria has a cell wall and it is made up of peptidoglycan. It is made up of peptidoglycans. Then there is like fungi, in which the cell wall is present, and in the fungi the cell wall is made up of chitin. Many children, including me, if I'll tell you, so many of us pronounce as chitin. At first, when I read this, I was also pronouncing it as chitin, but it's not chitin, it's chitin. And in animals and viruses, it's absent. And virus is actually not an living organisms. When it get into your cell, it, like the protein factory of your cell, it captures and then it get life. So we are going to study all about this in that chapter, the diversity in living organisms. Then nucleus. What is the nucleus? So controlling center of a cell is known as nucleus. It's double membrane bound, as I told you. It has nuclear envelope and nuclear pores. It contains deoxyribose nucleic acid, and which is DNA. And if you will see, so this is anatomy of a nucleus. This is how a nucleus looks. It has nuclear pores. It has nuclear envelope. Nuclear pores help any substance to get in or out. Then this is nuclear envelope. Then it's nuclear. Nucleoplasm is basically a substance filled inside that nucleus. If you will remember, there in anatomy of animal cell we studied about cytoplasm. Like cytoplasm is filled in cell, that's how nucleoplasm is filled inside a nucleus. Then there is a nucleus. Then there is a nucleus, and very sorry, nucleus is this pink part and nucleoplasm is this purple part. Sorry. Now let's move further. So, difference between DNA and RNA. So DNA is deoxyribose nucleic acid. If you will see, so it's made up of two threads, right? If you can see, so it has two thread kind of structures, right? Two thread kind of structures means, if you will see, so one thread is this and another thread is this coming. So this is how a DNA is made up of two threads. If I take this one thread and this the second thread, so this is how a nucleus is made. But whereas ribose nucleic acid, yani ki RNA, is made up of just one thread, right? It's just made up of one thread like this. Okay, I hope you got the point. DNA is made up of two threads and RNA is made up of just one cell. So, let's do a quick revision. What we have studied in this slide: RNA is made up of one thread, whereas DNA is made up of two threads, right? And yes, RNA is made up of just one thread. If you will see here too, as I have attached pictures, so this is one RNA and this is one DNA. So DNA here is made up of two threads, thread 1 and thread 2, but it only has one thread. So now let's get further. This is chromosome and chromatin. What is a chromosome? So chromatin. What is a chromatin? Chromatin is basically scattered form of DNA lying throughout the nucleus. Like if you will see, so this is suppose the area where DNA is kept, and this is the DNA. This is chromatin. Chromatin is basically like chromatin is basically dispersed throughout the nucleus, whereas chromosome is highly coiled and condensed form of DNA, right? Highly coiled and condensed form of DNA. If you will see, so this is coiled, and condensed, right? So इतना सारा जो आपका डीएनए था, ये पूरा जेनेटिक मटेरियल था, ये क्या हो गया? It became like this. So this was for today. Thank you very much, and I'll meet you in the next video with the basics or the bridge course of physics. Bye bye.